All right, so let's make a deep dive into air cover and what air cover is. I'm an insurance professional, but I'm also a real estate investor. I own two Airbnbs and I love it. But I also love insurance, and I have been practicing insurance for the past 6 years. My family has been insurance since 1967. So you can try to trust me when it comes to insurance. I'd say we know what we're doing. So I wanted to do a little bit of a deep dive into air cover, and it is the most comprehensive protection in travel, so they say. So air cover is a two-way street, one for the host and one for the guest. And so what that is when you are booked through the Airbnb platform, through the app, through the website, and you are checked in to a property, you have insurance through Airbnb. Now, not only you as the guest, but also the host has insurance through Airbnb. They have $1 million of liability for anything that was damaged, and then also for any liability issues of any, buddy that was hurt on their property, of any suing situation. So the owners have that amazing coverage built in with air cover. And so they don't have to worry about anything that happens during the stay. To give you an example, just 2 weeks ago, one of my properties, the guest had their brother with them, and he was painting her nails, and he got nail polish all over our table that cost us about $300. And so rather than them worrying about having to pay out of pocket, and rather than us having to make them feel bad, we can just file a claim with air cover and everything's taken care of, and they don't have to pay out of pocket. We don't have to pay any type of deductible. We don't have any type of premium that's going to increase. Air cover pays it, and everybody is happy. Our property is fixed. The guests do not have to pay out of pocket, and everybody's happy. So that is really the gist of what air cover can do for you as a guest and you for a host. And so we can do just a little bit of a deeper dive here. I do have my screen shared here. So air cover provides four protections for every guest on every stay. And so if you go down over here, so booking protection guarantee, check-in guarantee, get what you booked for guarantee, and 24-hour safety line. So, you've probably all heard of those scary situations in a foreign country, whether it was Costa Rica or where someone's booked checked into their Airbnb, and then all of a sudden they feel very sketched out. They think that something bad is going to happen. They've heard of stories of people getting robbed or getting set up to get robbed. And so, the 24-hour safety line is very, very useful for that. It's day or night, and especially trained safety agents. So that's going to really give you a peace of mind in any event, in any situation around the world when booking with Airbnb. So not only that, but there's booking protection. If something was to get canceled on you, they're going to find something better for you. And if not, they'll refund you. And so it's really good protection. And so then the other thing that, to keep in mind is there any issues that aren't protected? It's, sorry. I got a message from someone else there for a second. I need to stay focused here. But so yeah, so the other thing I wanted to show on here was yes, the $1 million liability, $1 million host damage. So it's very simple to use as a host, and it's very nice to have as a guest. And so I just wanted to do a little bit of a deep dive onto Airbnb and air cover and let you know that it is legit, it is amazing to have. And so whether you're a host curious what it does actually cover, or whether you are a guest curious of, if I was to mess this up, am I going to have to pay out of pocket? No, you have air cover. So the other thing that I wanted to mention as an insurance professional was how that talks to your insurance policy as the owner of the property. And it's kind of an interesting structure. It's similar to Uber. And so the app or the website is always going to let you know when someone is covered, right? And so what that is at the start of their stay. And so air cover starts at the start of your check-in. And so your property as a host is only covered by air cover when there is a guest checked into your property. And so if you have a few nights that a guest is not checked in, air cover does not exist for you. And so that's where you have to have that additional homeowner's policy or dwelling fire policy that would cover your property when you do not have a guest in your stay. And so that is actually how those insurance policies are written. The carriers that I work with, that we have direct appointments with at Shield, that do allow Airbnb, they actually usually do not cover the Airbnb exposure. They just allow there to be an Airbnb. And so what that means is they are expecting the operator of the property to have a other option like Airbnb in place for those situations. So how the policy would work is you would write a dwelling fire policy for your rental property, which is a DP3 fire policy. This is going to cover your property at all times that you do not have a guest in it. And so, if Monday, Tuesday, you have no guest, but Wednesday, Thursday, you do, and then Friday, Saturday, you do not, your dwelling fire policy would cover for Monday, Tuesday. Air cover would cover for Wednesday, Thursday when you have the guest, and then the dwelling fire policy would come back into play when the guests leave. And so the dwelling fire is going to exclude any coverage when the guests are in there, because that coverage is covered elsewhere. And that coverage elsewhere is with air cover. And so the policies kind of work together to cover your property in any situation. And so whether it's covered by air cover or it's covered by the dwelling fire policy, it's always going to be covered. And so if you are an owner and you think that, oh, they're starting to really advertise air cover now, maybe this means I don't actually need a separate insurance policy for my property. All I'm using it for is Airbnb. No, because you do not always have a guest in your property. I have an Airbnb myself. I know how this works. There's not always a guest in there. There's even times where the other guest is checked out and the other guest checked in, and you have that cleaner in there. What about then, huh? You need coverage separately from air cover. So keep that in mind as an owner. That part of this is not really for the guest. If you're thinking about doing an Airbnb, that's good to know. They're really not expensive. The policies, the dwelling fire policies for an Airbnb. I own an Airbnb myself, and my dwelling fire policy is through State Auto Insurance. State Auto allows Airbnb, but they do not cover Airbnb, like I just explained. But my insurance for the year cost me about $680 for the property. A little bit of a larger property, so that's why the premium's a little bit more. But you could see that anywhere from $500 to $900 for the year. So keep that in mind. My name is TJ Simmons. Thank you so much for joining me on this little deep dive into air cover and Airbnb. I hope you all have a wonderful day today, and like and subscribe. I'm trying to get bigger on YouTube. So just trying to add more passive income streams. I'm a real estate investor and investor at heart. So always trying to add more passive income. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.